Hi everybody, welcome to our update, Strategic Metals Invest. So for the past 5 years, we've seen continued price increases in rare earths because of soaring demand and limited supply. Rare earths are scarce and will continue to be for the foreseeable future, if not indefinitely. They cannot always be found in abundance and the scarcity is increasing. So it's no surprise then that new ideas and new horizons are not only being considered, but could soon become a reality. What I'm talking about is the mining of extraterrestrial resources on asteroids or moons. It's becoming increasingly or correspondingly more attractive, despite the high cost of space transport. So as early as the 1970s, the first ideas about space mining emerged, and now the necessary technological infrastructure for the exploration is available. So what we're talking about is asteroids as trillion-dollar raw material paradises. So like near-Earth asteroids in particular are in focus as potential sources of raw materials. So in addition to rare earths, they usually harbor raw materials such as nickel, copper, gold. So several of the more than 16,000 celestial bodies close to Earth have already been analysed by what they call spectral analysis. And the mining potential has already been calculated. Psyche 16, which is a 210 kilometer asteroid in orbit between Jupiter and Mars, holds ores and rocks worth 700 trillion. So this is according to the American Space Agency, NASA. Another recently discovered asteroid, 1986 DA, is valued at 11.6 trillion by researchers at the American Astronomical Society. And due to its sort of greater proximity to Earth, it will be much easier and faster to reach compared to Psyche 16. So from a scientific point of view, this makes it a possible target for asteroid mining in the future. So the importance of rare earths for the economy recently was demonstrated by the Netflix film Don't Look Up, in which a comet the size of Mount Everest, it's rushing towards Earth. Both NASA and the US president are desperately looking for ways to prevent the collision, and at first rockets are supposed to knock the celestial body off course. However, when an American tech billionaire realizes that the comet contains trillions of dollars worth of rare earths, he launches a plan for interstellar resource extraction. So using his company-owned drones, the comet is to be smashed to secure the high-value resources via the individual rock chunks. Now, his arguments that this will create jobs and boost the economy are quickly heard by the government. Now, the comet is thus transformed from a global threat into hope for recovery and economic strength. Now, the method discussed is far-fetched. However, interestingly, the tech billionaire humorously and accurately, though, states China's dominance in rare earths. And I quote what he says in the movie is, "As some of you may know, the most valuable minerals in the world are fast becoming those that are deployed in the manufacture of cell phones and computers, electric mobility." He even names some of them: terbium, dysprosium, neodymium, praseodymium, which of course are the metals we offer, or some of them. So he then says, now we are running short on these raw materials, and the problem is exacerbated, of course, because China has her big panda paw firmly on almost all the mines that produce these valuable rare earth assets. End of quote. So the movie accurately depicts the status quo in terms of demand and supply, and I would imagine discerning investors would have picked up on that. So space mining could soon become a reality. Nations such as the USA, China, and Russia, even Luxembourg, are already making specific plans for the exploration and mining of extraterrestrial raw materials. For the time being, the focus is on the moon. According to the plans of the Russian Space Agency, Roscosmos, and the Chinese Space Administration, a joint research station is to be built by 2027. This mission is expected to test technologies for mining these raw materials. The US, which is also striving to reach the moon for economic reasons, is committed to regulating the exploration of extraterrestrial resources through an international agreement. So this agreement is called these so-called agreements will be called the Artemis Accords, and they provide that governments and commercial companies may establish safety zones on the moon and other celestial bodies, which other parties are prohibited from entering. So the agreement also covers the commercial development of the raw materials found. Now, in addition to the above-mentioned superpowers, smaller states such as Luxembourg are also attracted by space mining. So in cooperation with the European Space Agency, ESA, Luxembourg supports startups that are looking for technical and economic solutions for mining in space. So while governments and commercial enterprises are examining ways to extract extraterrestrial raw materials, scientists are using rare earths and technology metals to explore outer space. For example, technology metals such as indium and tellurium are built into astronomical research instruments. The most recent example is the James Webb telescope, the most powerful space telescope to date. So at the end of 2021, it started its 1.5 million kilometer journey into deep space, and after 4 weeks of flight, reached its destination at the so-called Lagrange point, L2. So this research project, which is scheduled to last 10 years and involves NASA, European Space Agency, the Canadian Space Agency, is intended to provide further insight into the early days of the universe and the Big Bang. So the first images are expected in this summer of 2022. So I want to thank Tradium for their support and updating us with information. And as always, if you're interested in adding rare earths to your investment portfolio, then please go to our website by Googling Strategic Metals Invest, or email me directly, Louis, Louis, at strategicmetalsinvest.com. So I'm Louis O'Connor, and it is my pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you.